Hey guys, are you still out there? God, help me! I'm in this studio all by myself. I'm so glad you came to be connected today. My name is Brandi and I will be taking you through your practice. Congratulations, you've come to practice. Our theme today is going to be momentum because I have discovered that I'm feeling quite stuck and isolated and lonely and emotionally exhausted and really needing some momentum to propel me through and get on the other side of all of these feelings and of my disconnect from the world right now, which I think we're probably all needing a little momentum. Momentum, force or energy by which a body moves. Sometimes a step backward is required to gain momentum for your next big posture. So let's see if we can acquire some momentum through our practicing today to get ready for our next big posture. If this is something you desire, then meet me on your mat if you're not already there. And let's get started. Hello, everybody! I forgot to grab a couple props, so if you need some props, take a second and grab them like I just did. I've got 2 blocks because I feel like blocks are always handy, especially since we're going to be practicing propelling ourselves into some balance postures today, and I, for one, always need a little helping hand here. Also, feel free to grab a blanket or some towels if you need a little extra cushion for your knees or your sits bones, or you just like to have a little extra under your head. I would also like to offer that if you want to lay on your mat the entire time I'm talking today and not move at all, but just breathe, you are very welcome to do that because this is your practice and no one knows your body better than you and no one knows what you need better than you. So tune in, ask your body what you're craving today. Are you craving to just rest peacefully on your mat? Or are you craving to move and breathe? Well, now that we got out that, let's get started. Come to your mat in your favorite resting posture. Perhaps that's in child's pose with your knees spread apart and your big toes together and your chest resting on the ground with your forehead connecting. Maybe you'd like to lie in Shavasana on your back or your side or your tummy. Perhaps you'd like to sit with me in Sukhasana, easy seat, or crisscross applesauce. So choose a posture that feels most restful and restorative to you as we begin to connect with our breath and our bodies, coming into a present moment and releasing all of the stress and the fear and the anxiety and the loneliness that we are subjected to at this time in our lives. Closing down your eyes, let's scan your body. Eyes are closed down and they're resting deeply and comfortably in your sockets. That cranky space between your eyes releases. Your lower jaw lets go, and your tongue releases from the roof of your mouth. Notice your breath, your natural native breath. Notice how your body gently expands with every inhale, and how you sink just a little bit deeper, restfully, with every exhale. On your next inhalation, let's invite our big, full pranayama, our active, controlled breath. Draw deep into your low belly and then trace that breath up through your abdomen, expanding your ribs, maybe drawing that breath all the way up into your clavicles, finding the top of your breath. And then exhale, reverse that process. Exhale from the top to the mid, to the low belly, and then inhale, low belly, mid, upper. Continue this full, active, you've got the control breath as I open us with a few words. Breathing deeply, bottom of the breath to the top of the breath. I'm moving through this a little quicker today because I want to get us going. Okay, everybody, I can think back over times in my life where a challenge seemed insurmountable. The task before me would require great momentum to move through it. One of those things was becoming a cosmetologist. That seemed insurmountable, and I had to get momentum to get through that education, buying a home, being a business owner, birthing children, becoming a certified yoga instructor. These are just a few moments in my life where I required great momentum to propel me into and through the challenge to the triumph. So what seemingly insurmountable challenge have you found victory in? Think about that. You have found victory in things that seemed insurmountable. Breathe into that thought. Invite that into your practice. What seemingly insurmountable challenge have you already found victory in? I'm sure because you're here right now, there are quite a few of them that you have. Okay, allow those eyes to open up. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes in whatever posture that you chose. And get ready to meet me in tabletop position on your mat, hands and knees. Tabletop position. Stack your hips right over your knees and your shoulders right over your wrists. We're going to begin with cow. In cow pose, your belly is heavy. You inhale, lift your gaze up to the ceiling, draw your shoulders down your back, and allow your heart center to pull through here. As you exhale, starting with the tailbone, rounding through every vertebra of your spine till your chin connects to your chest. And you press actively through your hands, reaching your spine up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, heavy belly, head lifts high, shoulders pull down the back. Exhale, round, cat. Take a few of these at your own breath pace, warming up our spines, inviting breath and movement to be connected. And then let's meet in a neutral spine, and we're gonna kick that left foot out and inhale, the left arm rises. Gaze can be up at the left thumb. Exhale, left hand plants. Inhale, right arm rises. Ooh, it's a big stretch. Exhale, right hand plants. Inhale, left arm rises. We're gonna do this a few times. Flow with your breath. One more time, inhale, the left arm rises. Pause right here at the top, and then we're gonna come all the way up onto that right knee. This is a place where if you're feeling sensitivity in your right knee, put a rolled towel or blanket under that. Your toes are pointing out. From here, take a big inhale. Allow your right hand to drop back and reach for the right heel. What does this feel like in your body? This is a little gate camel pose here. I turned sideways so you could see what my hand was reaching for here. Big inhale. Exhale fully. Press your hips forward. Inhale, rise back up into our gate pose. Exhale, the left hand down on the left leg. Reach your right arm over your right ear. Inhale, back up. Exhale, plant that right hand and reach the left arm over the left ear. Oh, I love this stretch. It feels so good. I feel like I'm creating so much space in my body with this breath. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. Build momentum, inhale back up, exhale down, inhale up. This time exhale, plant your hands in front again, kick that left foot straight back behind you and invite your right hand forward. See if you can level those hips out, press your heel back towards the wall behind you. And now we're gonna pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planting the hand and the foot. Switching sides, invite that right foot out. Inhale, the right arm rises. Exhale, right hand plants. Switch sides. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, plant. Flow with your breath. Invite your breath with your movement. Connecting breath and movement. Exhale. Inhale, the right arm rises. This time rising up onto that left knee. Curl those left toes under. And if you like, you can reach that left hand back for the left heel and press your hips forward. Let your head drop back and be heavy here. This is quite an opening. I really enjoy it. I was just playing around with movement today and momentum, and I was like, oh, my body kind of wants to do this. So if your body likes it, love it. And if not, come into a posture that feels comfortable and good for you. Rising back up. We're going to exhale the right hand down onto the right leg, and then left arm over the left ear. Inhale up. Exhale, right hand plants. Left arm over left ear. Ooh, create some space here. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down. Reach. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. This time exhale straight down in front of you. Kick that right foot straight back behind you. Invite the left arm out and let's pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center. Do you feel some heat in your body now? Let's inhale the cow. Exhale the cat. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. Yeah. Okay, pause on a neutral spine, and we are going to press up into down dog. So big toes turn under, fingers are spread wide. Lift your hips high. Heels are heavy, chest is drawing towards your thighs. First down dog of the day, so feel free to walk that dog out. Take a couple breaths in your down dog, bending those knees. Just making the first step can sometimes require the most momentum. And then you ride that wave, that force of energy through your challenging posture. The first step to acquiring momentum that I needed to become a yoga instructor was to say yes. Once I allowed that yes to escape my lips, it sent a drive by which the rest of my body followed. My momentum was my yes, and it propelled me into my fears and into the unknown. So what do you require momentum for in your life? Where do you need some drive and some strength and power? Let's inhale that right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step it between your hands. Plant your left foot. We're gonna use our momentum to rise up into Warrior 2. How did it feel? Are you with me in your Warrior 2? I'm sure you look beautiful. I'm sure you are strong and you're breathing, and you can see some toes over that right knee, and your shoulders are released down your back. Your neck is long. I'm here with you. We can build momentum to get through this. Coming into reverse warrior, reach out past yourself, flip your right palm, then scrape the ceiling, keeping a big bend in that right knee as you reverse your warrior. Ooh, I built heat fast today. We got those little hairs sticking to my sweaty face. Feels good. I'm letting some stuff go today, you guys. I am going mad. We're gonna inhale all the way up, straightening that right leg and coming into triangle pose, Trikonasana. My stance was a little wide, so I'm heel toeing in just a little bit here. Left arm is up at 12 o'clock. Right hand is down at 6 o'clock. See if you can use your core to hold yourself up here instead of really relying on that right hand to hold you up. Trikonasana, triangle pose. From our triangle pose, we're going to rise up into our crescent lunge. So bending that right knee, come up onto the big toe of your left foot, draw your right hip back, left hip forward, and we've come into our crescent lunge. Activate that left glute, make it rock hard here. Squaring your hips off and then sinking into them. See if you can stack your heel right over your toe. That really changes the posture and really activates your body. One more big inhale here in your crescent lunge. Looking down at that right foot, plant your hands, step your right foot back, find down dog. Ooh, yeah. Notice the difference between your right and left legs here. What do you require momentum for in your life? Where do you need drive, strength, and power? Okay, I'm losing my breath. This is good. I better stay connected to my breath. Inhale, the left leg rises. Look up between your hands and step your left foot on through. Drop your right heel, rise up, using your momentum, cartwheeling up into warrior two. How does your warrior two feel on this side? Looking over that left knee to see a couple toes. If you can't see some toes, walk that foot out a little bit farther. Shoulders are released down your back. Arms are active. Top of your head is reaching past the ceiling, building heat. Preparing for reverse warrior. Reach that left arm out. Flip the palm towards the ceiling. Scrape the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Keep a big bend in that left knee. Ooh, but it's challenging. I feel the heat. Stay connected to your breath, holding a challenging posture, but letting your breath flow. Using your momentum to rise back up, straightening that left knee, dropping into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand is up at 12 o'clock, left hand is down at 6 o'clock. Heel toe your back foot in a little if you need a shorter stance here. Using your core to support you and not that left hand. Preparing to rise up into your crescent lunge when you're ready, using your momentum to come up onto the big toes of that right foot. Oh, I've got a big stance here. How's it look? Oh, there we go. I'm making some adjustments. Woo! We're building heat. We're using our energy. We're using our momentum. Big inhale here. As you exhale, look down at that left foot, plant your hands by it, step it on back, down dog. Or child's pose. Feel free to come into child's pose. Connect with your breath. Connect with your body. We're gonna go through that warrior sequence one more time, a little bit faster, and then we're gonna build on it because we're building momentum today. Inhaling that right leg up to the sky, look up between your hands, step your foot through, drop the left heel, use your momentum and cartwheel up into warrior two. Reaching out past yourself, flipping the palm, scrape the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Big bend in that right knee. Inhaling all the way back up, straightening that right knee, dropping into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand at 12 o'clock, right hand down at 6. Ah, feels good, doesn't it? And then preparing to rise up into your crescent lunge, use your momentum to swing yourself up onto the big toe of your left foot. Clear any sweaty hair out of your face that you need to. Square your hips off. Press actively through the big toe on your left foot. Arms are active, body is strong and active. One more big inhale here. Make it a full one. Bottom of the breath to the top. And then top of the breath to the bottom as you plant your hands and find down dog. Invite your breath in nice and full. As you build heat, you exhale it through your breath. We release heat through a vigorous exhale. Yeah, okay. Inhale that left leg up towards the ceiling. Look up between your hands. Step it on through. Drop the right heel. Use your momentum to rise up into warrior two. Reaching out past yourself, flipping the palms, scraping the ceiling, reversing your warrior. Big bend in that left knee. Build that heat. Rising all the way up, straightening that left knee, dropping into triangle pose. I'm building a lot of heat, so I'm using my breath to cool myself and to feed myself. Use your breath as you build momentum to guide you through your practice. Preparing to rise up into your crescent lunge. Let that right hand swing down and then up with both of your hands into your crescent lunge. Did you feel that? That fun little ninja move? Ooh, yeah. Activate your body, make your adjustments. One more full breath here. As you exhale, plant your hands, step it on back. You can stay in down dog or child's pose. We're gonna reset. Child's pose, knees come to the ground and go wide apart as the big toes come together. Then your chest melts into the mat. Or keeping those hips lifted high and draw your chest towards your thighs in down dog. Find your posture. What's your body craving? I was so afraid of criticism of others and being judged. I was so full of lies that I had come into agreement with. You can't be a yoga instructor. You don't look like a yoga instructor. People are not going to take you seriously, Brandi. You're fat, you're weak. You can't put yourself out there in such a vulnerable way. You can't do it. Don't do it, Brandi. That's what my mind was telling me. Don't do it, Brandi. And then I said yes. I said yes, you guys, and that was my momentum. Somehow I had this desire that overrode the fear, and this desire gave me momentum to be more. I wanted to be more. I wanted to be free of fear and limitations. This desire to release, this desire to acquire, desire to be more propelled me. It was monumental momentum to say yes. What do you desire to acquire, my friends? What are you desiring to acquire? Peace, love, freedom from fear? Do you desire to acquire a new mindset? Do you desire to acquire being a certified yoga instructor? What do you desire to acquire? Oh yeah, okay, we're gonna work through that. So if you're in down dog, well done. If you're in child's pose, well done. Wherever you are, let's meet back in down dog, and we're gonna build a little more on our warrior sequence because I'm sure you have muscle memory now. Inhale the right leg up to the sky. Look up between your hands. Step it on through. Dropping that left heel, using your momentum. Swing yourself up into Warrior Two. Virabhadrasana 2. Gusty exhale if you need it. Reach out past yourself. Flip your palms. Scrape the ceiling, reversing your warrior. Big bend in that right knee. Inhale all the way up, dropping into triangle pose, straightening the right knee. Left hand is up at 12 o'clock, right is down at 6. Preparing to come into your crescent lunge. We're gonna let that, which hand is this? Left hand swing down and bending our knee, rise up into crescent lunge. Did you get it that time? Okay, now from here, we're really gonna need some momentum because we're gonna come into Warrior Three. And Warrior Three, we're gonna launch up onto that right foot. So interlace all 10 fingers above your head, point, lock, and lift. Your hands can be at heart center here, or your arms can be locked by your ears. Point those toes directly behind you, and then square off your hips. What I mean by that is drop your left hip level with your right hip. Ooh, building some heat. Grab a block here if you need a little extra balance. Feel your heart beating. Feel your breath flowing. We can work through this huge challenge. One more breath here. As you exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, down dog. Preparing to inhale that left leg up to the sky. Look up between your hands, step it through. Use your momentum, rising up into Warrior Two. Exhale. Flip the palms, scrape the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Big inhale. Exhale, coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Pause here, take a full breath. On your inhale, let that right hand swing down and rise you up into your crescent lunge. And then preparing for your Warrior Three, Virabhadrasana 3, or standing stick. Interlace all 10 fingers, release your index fingers, point, lock, and lift. You can release your hands down to blocks here. You can have your hands at heart center. Square your hips off, letting that right hip drop level with the left. Point your toes directly behind you. And build some heat. One more full breath here. As you exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, child's pose. Knees go wide, big toes together, melt yourself down. Notice your heart beating. Notice your breath flowing. Notice your powerful body. Don't do it, Brandi. And then I said yes, because somehow my desire overrode my fear, and momentum from that desire to be more broke me free of fear and limitations. This is a huge challenge, you guys, that we do not feel adequately prepared for. This mountain of COVID-19 bringing unwanted pain and sorrow and isolation and fear and loneliness. Who felt adequately prepared for this? We seek monumental momentum to propel us through this challenge and into a triumphant victory. And this practice of yoga, this practice of holding a challenging posture and then releasing, teaches us opposition. we can hold. And just as we can hold, so too can we release. We can notice. We can notice our posture, the challenges before us. We can notice our breath and whether or not we are holding it. Just as we hold a breath, so too can we let it go. Just like Elsa. I have little kids. Making room for a new breath is what we're doing, everyone. A new posture, a new triumphant victory. We practice noticing times in our lives where a challenge seemed insurmountable and what momentum was required for our victory. We notice our victories even in the storm. Whatever storm you're in, there is a victory. We just are seeking the momentum to get us through this storm and into our triumphant victory. And you can notice the times in your lives where you have come through into those. Let's go through this warrior sequence one more time if you'd like to get a little more momentum. If you're like, I just didn't quite get enough, I'm gonna propel myself through this one more time. And if you'd like to just stay in child's pose and rest, that is perfectly okay too. Meet me in down dog if you're seeking a little more momentum. I know I am. I need some more momentum, you guys. I gotta get through this storm. Inhale that right leg up to the sky. Look up between your hands and swing your foot through. Ready to rise up with your momentum into warrior two. Reaching out past yourself, flipping your palm, scraping the ceiling, reversing your warrior. Big bend in that right knee. Inhaling all the way back up, straightening the right knee, Trikonasana, triangle pose. Looking down at that right foot, we're going to let the left arm swing down and then rise up into our crescent lunge. Big breath here, preparing to launch into your Tula Dandasana, your standing stick. Interlace all 10 fingers. Point your index fingers up towards the ceiling. Point, lock, and lift. Leveling those hips out, pointing those left toes straight back behind you. Building some heat in that right leg. Feeling your heart flowing and your breath guiding it. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back, find down dog. Inhale the right leg or left leg up to the sky. Left leg rises and swings through. Using your momentum, rising up into warrior two. Reaching out past yourself, flip that left palm, scrape the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Inhale all the way up, straighten the left leg, dropping into triangle pose. Letting that right arm swing down and then guide you up into your crescent lunge. Preparing for warrior three, interlace all 10 fingers, release the index fingers, point, lock, and lift. Oh, I'm feeling the trembling now from all of this wonderful momentum. Level out your hips, point those toes, big inhale. Don't hold your breath. Let it guide you through your practice. As you exhale, step your feet back, find down dog. Look up at your hands, take a big bend in your knees, and step your feet up to meet your hands. Meet me in a forward fold at the top of your mat. Let your head be heavy and your neck go. Hips are lifting high, chest is drawing towards your thighs. Maybe reaching for opposite elbows, or hands can be on a couple blocks here. This huge challenge that we do not feel adequately prepared for. This mountain of COVID-19, bringing unwanted pain and sorrow and isolation and fear. We are seeking monumental momentum to propel us through this challenge and into a triumphant victory. Let's find a halfway lift with an inhale. Tabletop flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold deeply. Big bend in your knees. We're gonna circle sweep our arms and root to rise. Coming all the way to the top. And then releasing into mountain pose. Allow your eyes to close down for a moment here. Strong mountain. A mountain of momentum. Notice your mountain of momentum. You're welcome to place a hand on your heart and your abdomen. Feeling grateful for your mountain of momentum that will propel you through this. Connecting with your breath and your practice. If you'd like one last moment of balance here, one more posture of balance, I feel like we've built enough momentum to really come into that. You can release your hands down at your sides, and you're welcome to come into Vrksasana, which is tree pose. In tree pose, you're going to have your foot either on your ankle, calf, inner thigh, or perhaps holding that right foot. So take a moment and find your balancing posture in tree pose. I think today mine's gonna be up here. I feel like I've got myself really warm and I've built a lot of stability. Now that you're here, what do your hands want to do? Do you want to press them together at heart center? Perhaps you're feeling more like cactus arms today. Or maybe your tree is just ready to grow and you're going to extend your branches long. Bend that left knee as much as you need to increase your stability. And if you step out, like I just did, feel free to step back in. There's no comparison here. This is your practice. There's no one here to judge or criticize you. This is just you finding your balance, using your momentum to propel you into the next challenging posture. Noticing that just as we can hold a challenge, so too can we release. Releasing your Vrksasana, shaking out that left leg if you built a little heat there. Exhale. Invite a full inhale, bottom of the breath, up through the mid, all the way to the top. Exhale from the top to the mid, to the low belly. Placing the weight in the right foot, switching sides. Find your Vrksasana, your tree pose. Perhaps this side looks different than the other side. I'm going to be curious and see where this foot wants to go. Ooh, I've got some trembles in here from all of that good work. Now that you've found your balance, what do your branches want to do? I think right now my branches are holding in all of this momentum and it's being pressed inside of me. So I imagine right now that in my hands, I've gathered all of this momentum and now I press it into my heart. But maybe you're ready to gather some more right here. Maybe your branches say, I am still ready to receive more. Just be curious about that. And just as you can gather more in a challenging posture, you can also release that posture, coming triumphantly into your victory. Bend your knees deeply here, and then circle sweep your hands in front of you, and fill yourself up with breath as you rise all the way to the top. Then let your head drop back, look up. What are you gathering up here? Is it momentum? Is it freedom from fear? Is it love? Is it peace? Inhale. Gather it with your inhale. And then press it in between your palms. Press it in. Now you've caught it. And you're going to pull it through into your heart. That's what this practice can do for you. It teaches you how to hold and release, how to gather and acquire, how to move through something challenging. Do you feel that? You'll notice this overflow in your life from it. We're going to hinge from the waist and forward fold. Oh, that feels juicy. And then we're coming all the way back down to the mat so you can bend your knees. Come into tabletop position, and we're going to come into our low lunge here. So let's start with the right foot forward. Great place for a couple blocks here. Let that left leg go long behind you. Draw your right hip back. Encourage your left hip forward, and then sink into your hips. Did you hear my breath? I was staying connected to my breath, just as I'm connecting to you right now. And the only way that I have, so too can I connect to my breath. Press through that right foot, coming into your half splits. See if you can stack your left hip directly over your left knee. And then if you notice rounding in your spine, straighten your spine. Draw those right toes back towards you. And perhaps you hear a right hamstring speaking to you. Pull that right hip back, encourage your left hip forward. Exhale. Bringing that right foot back, coming into melting heart, stacking your hips right over your knees here, instead of letting your hips drop back like we do in child's pose. And then walk your hands out in front of you and let your heart melt towards the mat. Forehead releases to the mat. Melting heart. Coming all the way down onto your belly, preparing for Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. Bring your hands into push-up position. Press the tops of your feet into the mat and zipper your legs up together. Now allow your chin to come to the mat. Exhale out all of your air. And as you inhale, rise up off of the mat. Little to no weight in the hands. Strengthening your back body. Peeling yourself up one rib at a time. Exhale, release back to the mat. Press up into child's pose. Big toes together, knees are wide. Sink into it. One full breath here. Walking your hands in, meeting in tabletop position. Left foot comes forward, low lunge. Let that right leg extend long behind you. Left hip back, right hip forward. So you can place your hands on your hips to really square your hips off and then sink into them. Your hands can be on your thigh here or on the ground or on some blocks, but just notice what your spine is doing. If you're really rounding, see how straight and long you can get your spine. Pressing through that left foot, stacking the right hip over the right knee, coming into your half splits. If you're feeling tension and strain in the back of that knee, take a micro bend in your knee to protect your knee. And again, check in with your spine and notice if you're really rounding here. Straighten your spine. Notice your hamstring. And then we're going to bring that foot back. Hips over knees, melting heart. Ooh, just melt away. Delicious. One full breath here, bottom to the top. Exhale down into belly down position on your mat. For Bhujangasana, zipper up your legs. Hands in push-up position, chin to the mat. Exhale. Inhale, peel your chest up off of the mat. See if you can peel up one more rib with every inhale. Exhale down, press up into child's pose. And then when you're ready, let's roll onto our backs, however you'd like to get there. I'm gonna come into a seat and then I'm gonna grab behind my knees and I'm gonna allow my body to gently roll down. Let your knees come up and give yourself a squeeze here. And then arms are out like airplane wings. Let's drop the knees heavy to the right side body, coming into a spinal twist. If you notice your knees are really floating apart here, you can place a blanket or a towel or a block between your knees. If you're feeling a lot of stress and tension in that left shoulder, you can bring your left hand and place it on your ribs. Oh, doesn't that feel so good? Arms out like airplane wings. Use your core, keeping your knees together. Draw them back up towards the ceiling. Pausing in the center, big inhale. Exhale, let your knees drop heavy to the side, switching sides. If your right shoulder is feeling discomfort here, cupping the ribs with your right hand. Arms are out like airplane wings, pressing your legs together. Use your core, draw your knees back up towards the ceiling. And we're preparing for our final Shavasana. So from here, if you'd like to take any last movements, now is a great time for you to do that if your body's desiring a little bit more. And if you're ready to just take up some space, let your legs go long and come into your final resting Shavasana. You are welcome to do that. If you're taking a posture that has two sides, be sure to address both sides of that posture, keeping yourself even. If you're meeting me in Shavasana, feel free to grab any blankets or things that make you feel cozy here so you can really rest in this posture. And then allow your eyes to close down and melt away. And that space between your eyes just dissolves all the stress and tension. Let your shoulders come down your back and away from your ears. And your palms face towards the ceiling because we're still ready to receive all the goodness that we just put into practice. Take up your space and come back into your natural native breath. Noticing how fully supported you are, how you can really let go. And this is the most challenging posture, to not let your mind leave yet. Don't allow the lists or the worry or the fear to creep back in. If your mind starts to get busy, just listen to my voice. You can count your breath, which keeps you connected and in a present moment instead of worrying and fearful. So you can inhale for 4 seconds and exhale for 4 seconds. Staying right here as I close us out with a few words. Eyes are closed down. Breath is natural and native. Mind is still fully here in this moment. Just as the moon is hidden by a cloud, and all you see is dark night, so too will that cloud pass to reveal a hidden spot of light. Just as the moon is hidden by a cloud and all you see is dark night, so too will that cloud pass to reveal a hidden spot of light. Today, we have sought momentum to move through the dark night and find our hidden spot of light. We have sought momentum through the dark challenges of isolation, through the challenges of not having access to what we're used to. We are working through these challenges, these things that seem like dark night, because we know that the cloud will pass. There is a hidden spot of light. We know that we can make it through challenges together, individually, collectively. We can build momentum. We can have energy. We can have drive and power and velocity. Just as I have come through so many challenges previously, I notice, and I know that we can come through this challenge, this dark night, and find our light. May you find your hidden spot of light, loved ones. May you know that the cloud will pass, and just as all you see might be darkness, the cloud will pass. You will find your hidden spot of light. Thank you so much for practicing momentum with me today. May you continue to practice gathering your momentum, and may you continue to be connected. In Jesus' name, namaste.